The New York Knicks could be staring at yet another unexpected opportunity in what has been one of the most eventful off-seasons in recent memory. Just days after veteran guard Malcolm Brogdon shocked the basketball world by announcing his sudden retirement, another proven backcourt name has unexpectedly hit the open market. Spencer Dinwiddie, a longtime NBA guard released by the Charlotte Hornets. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. The timing of these two developments couldn't be more intriguing. As the Knicks continue to evaluate their final preseason roster, they suddenly find themselves with a gap in experience and depth, and Dinwiddie could be exactly the type of veteran presence needed to stabilize things heading into opening night. Dinwiddie's release came as a surprise to many around the league. Despite agreeing to a veteran's minimum contract with Charlotte, the Hornets decided to move on before the regular season even began. For a 31-year-old with over a decade of NBA experience, that kind of abrupt departure raises questions, but it also opens doors. And for a Knicks team that just lost one of its most seasoned guards, the timing might be too perfect to ignore. Now entering his 12th NBA season, Dinwiddie has built a reputation as a versatile guard capable of both running an offense and providing scoring punch off the bench. He's known for his poise, his playmaking, and his confidence, traits that have made him a valuable asset to every team he's joined. His track record includes significant stints with the Brooklyn Nets, Dallas Mavericks, Washington Wizards, and Los Angeles Lakers, giving him experience in both starting and reserve roles across multiple systems. For the Knicks, his potential arrival would address multiple needs at once. Brogdon's retirement not only left the team short on veteran leadership, but also disrupted the carefully planned balance in the backcourt rotation. With Jalen Brunson as the team's unquestioned floor general, New York was counting on Brogdon to bring stability to the second unit, someone who could manage the tempo, distribute the ball, and hit key shots when needed. Now, with that plan suddenly erased, the Knicks are forced to look for answers elsewhere. The young guards on the roster, Packham Dadiot, Tyler Kolek, and Miles McBride, each bring potential but remain largely unproven at the NBA level. Early preseason action has shown flashes of talent, but also signs that they need more time to develop consistency. Meanwhile, minor injuries to OG Anunoby and Josh Hart have exposed just how thin the Knicks' backcourt depth can become when things don't go according to plan. Financially, Brogdon's departure created a small cushion for the front office, offering flexibility that could make a low-cost addition feasible. And if Dinwiddie is open to another veteran's minimum deal, the same one he had in Charlotte, the fit becomes even more appealing. But beyond the numbers, there's a basketball logic that makes sense here. Dinwiddie has history in New York, having spent parts of 7 seasons with the Brooklyn Nets from 2016 through 2021 and again during the 2023-24 campaign. He's comfortable under the bright lights of Madison Square Garden and understands the unique pressures that come with playing in the city. For a team aiming to make noise in the Eastern Conference, that familiarity matters. Last season, Dinwiddie played 79 games for the Dallas Mavericks, averaging 11 points and 4.4 assists per game, including 30 starts. He wasn't the flashiest player on the court, but he was reliable, a steady contributor on a team that battled through injuries to key stars. It was a bounce-back year after a tough stint split between Brooklyn and Los Angeles, one that reminded teams around the league that Dinwiddie still had plenty left in the tank. And let's not forget his chemistry with Jalen Brunson. During the 2022 NBA playoffs, Dinwiddie and Brunson carried the Mavericks through the first round against Utah while Luka Doncic was sidelined. Over that stretch, Dinwiddie averaged 19.7 points, 6.7 assists, 4.3 rebounds, and 2 steals per game, stepping up as both a playmaker and scorer. Mavericks head coach Jason Kidd praised him at the time, saying, "We get a playmaker, a scorer, a bigger guard. Whether he's starting or coming off the bench, he's been a positive for us, something we didn't have before." That kind of versatility could be invaluable for the Knicks. Dinwiddie's ability to play both guard positions gives head coach Mike Brown flexibility. He can either run the offense when Brunson rests or play alongside him to create dual ball-handling lineups. His size and defensive instincts would also fit well in New York's gritty, physical system. Of course, bringing in Dinwiddie would reignite an ongoing internal debate. How much should the Knicks prioritize winning now versus developing their young talent? Adding another veteran guard could mean reduced minutes for players like McBride or Kolek, but it would also solidify a roster built with deep playoff aspirations in mind. This isn't just about filling a vacancy. Signing Dinwiddie would signal that the Knicks are serious about contending, that they're willing to make strategic win-now moves rather than waiting for prospects to catch up. In a competitive Eastern Conference that includes heavyweights like Boston, Milwaukee, and Philadelphia, every marginal upgrade matters. And for Dinwiddie himself, a move back to New York could be a chance for redemption. After a turbulent run across several teams, returning to a familiar city and joining a contender might be the perfect environment to re-establish his value and chase another deep playoff run. Whether the Knicks decide to make a move remains to be seen. But the logic is hard to ignore. The timing lines up, the roster need is clear, and the opportunity is right there. Spencer Dinwiddie knows New York, he knows Jalen Brunson, and he knows what it takes to perform under pressure. For a Knicks team with championship dreams and a city hungry for a contender, this could be a low-cost, high-impact move, the kind that separates good teams from great ones. The ball, as they say, is now in New York's court. The echoes of a potential blockbuster deal still linger in New York. As the Knicks prepare to open the new NBA season, the franchise finds itself balancing two realities: the calm of a confident contender and the chaos of a trade rumor that refuses to die. On paper, the Knicks' off-season looks cautious, a roster built on depth, chemistry, and internal growth rather than splashy headlines. But make no mistake, behind closed doors, the Knicks took their shot at something massive. Reports confirm New York explored a deal that could have sent shockwaves through the league, a trade centered around two-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo. It never materialized, but its presence still hovers over Madison Square Garden. This isn't the same Knicks team of years past, the one known for impulsive trades and short-sighted gambles. This version, under team president Leon Rose and new head coach Mike Brown, operates with poise and patience. The Knicks have become one of the league's most stable, respected, and intriguing franchises, and for the first time in decades, they're viewed as a genuine destination. That shift in perception speaks volumes. When rumors surfaced that Antetokounmpo might consider leaving Milwaukee, only one team truly caught his attention: the New York Knicks. For a franchise long haunted by dysfunction, that kind of credibility marks a seismic change. Yet, even as the season draws near, the whispers remain impossible to silence. Off the floor, the Antetokounmpo situation will hang over the team all season following the revelation that the Knicks and Bucks discussed a potential trade of the power forward this offseason, wrote ESPN's Vince Goodwill. Several key players will be on notice and keeping a close watch on Milwaukee to gauge Giannis's frame of mind. Giannis's frustration in Milwaukee isn't new. After 3 consecutive first-round exits, the two-time MVP has grown increasingly disillusioned with the Bucks' inability to surround him with a truly elite supporting cast. Each passing season pushes his 2021 championship run further into the rearview mirror, and with his 31st birthday approaching, his patience is running thin. Milwaukee's off-season did little to change that. Instead of adding another star, the Bucks chose familiarity, bringing back several of the same role players who've been unable to lift the team past the early playoff rounds. They even signed 2 of Giannis's brothers, Thanasis and Kostas, a gesture that seemed more symbolic than strategic, a move to keep him content rather than competitive. Meanwhile in New York, the Knicks watched and waited. The front office kept its options open all summer, holding the flexibility and assets necessary to make a deal if Antetokounmpo decided he wanted out. But as weeks turned into months with no trade request from Milwaukee, the Knicks pivoted. Rather than sitting idle, they focused on their own growth. The team finalized an extension for Mikal Bridges, once viewed as a possible trade chip, signaling a commitment to the core they've built. It was a statement move, one that said, "We're not desperate anymore." Under Mike Brown's guidance, the Knicks used the rest of the offseason to reinforce their roster with purpose. The additions of Gershon Yabusele and Jordan Clarkson give New York one of the deepest benches in the East, complementing a starting lineup that has evolved into a perfect blend of defense, versatility, and maturity. Gone are the days when the Knicks were defined by star-chasing and instability. Today, they're a team that wins with balance and identity. Brown's influence has been immediate, emphasizing ball movement, defensive intensity, and accountability, all the traits that were missing in previous regimes. Still, the shadow of Giannis looms. Every Bucks game, every post-game comment, every cryptic interview will be scrutinized by the media and rival executives alike. Across the league, teams are watching and waiting, and at the front of that line sits New York. Because when the next superstar becomes available, whether it's Antetokounmpo or someone else, the Knicks are ready. They have the assets, the coaching, the culture, and the market appeal to strike when the opportunity comes. It's a remarkable turnaround for a franchise that once couldn't even get a meeting with the league's biggest names. Now, instead of chasing relevance, the Knicks are relevance. Their rise from instability to legitimacy has made them one of the NBA's most intriguing stories, a team that finally looks capable of sustaining success instead of stumbling into it. And while they're not defined by rumors anymore, they're not running from them either. The trade speculation surrounding Giannis may hang over the season like a storm cloud, but for these Knicks, it's a sign of something positive. They're back in the conversation where contenders belong. Because if the next superstar domino falls, if Giannis's patience in Milwaukee finally runs out, the league already knows who'll be first in line to make the call. The New York Knicks, reborn under Mike Brown, ready to bring the next global icon to the world's biggest basketball stage, Madison Square Garden. If LeBron James were to find himself on the trade block during this NBA season, league insiders believe the New York Knicks could emerge as the most compelling landing spot for the superstar. For months, whispers and speculation have circulated about James' future beyond the Los Angeles Lakers, but recent comments from longtime NBA analysts Bobby Marks and Kevin O'Connor have reignited the debate, placing New York squarely in the spotlight. On a recent episode of Mark's web series, both analysts weighed in on the potential scenarios surrounding a mid-season trade for LeBron James. The conversation immediately caught the attention of fans and commentators alike, not only because of the high-profile nature of James' career, but also because of the historic implications for the Knicks franchise. O'Connor and Marks highlighted that while James is still under contract with the Lakers, having exercised a $52.6 million player option over the offseason, his deal may not be viewed by all as a long-term commitment. For many observers, this opens the door to a trade that could dramatically reshape the league's landscape. The idea of James suiting up at Madison Square Garden is not new, but it has gained renewed traction as he enters what many consider the twilight of his career. LeBron remains one of the most influential players in the NBA, and even as he approaches the later stages of his career, his potential impact on a franchise like the Knicks is enormous. Marks and O'Connor argued that if James were traded mid-season rather than entering free agency through a buyout, Manhattan would be the top destination among the high-spending apron teams, those that are not bound by the salary cap in the same way as other franchises. While other teams, including Cleveland, Dallas, and Golden State, could theoretically compete for his services, New York holds several unique advantages that make it a frontrunner. "You always have to think about New York," Marks said. "They've got the contracts and the flexibility to make a deal work. Whether it's the big Karl-Anthony Towns number or the combination of OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Josh Hart, the pieces line up in a way that makes a LeBron trade feasible. Financially and structurally, it leans heavily in New York's favor." O'Connor expanded on that point, placing the Knicks above all other potential destinations if the Lakers were to pursue a mid-season trade. "If LeBron were to be traded, the Knicks make the most sense," he explained. "Salary-wise, roster-wise, and in terms of the leap the team might want to take, it just aligns perfectly. And on a personal level for LeBron, it's Madison Square Garden, his favorite arena. He's always spoken highly of it. If he brought a championship there, after decades without one, it would cement his legacy in a city that thrives on basketball history." The fascination with a LeBron to New York scenario extends far beyond trade speculation. Historically, the Knicks have made multiple overtures to secure James' services, though nothing has ever materialized. LeBron himself has never hidden his affection for MSG, which has served as the backdrop for many of his career highlights. One of the most memorable occurred in February of this year, when he delivered a 33-point, 12-assist, 11-rebound triple-double performance against the Knicks. During that game, James also reached a milestone, becoming only the seventh player in NBA history to sink at least 2,500 career three-pointers. That win came just hours before the Lakers made headlines with a stunning trade for Dallas Mavericks star Luka Doncic, a move that shocked the league and added even more drama to an already sensational NBA season. Marks and O'Connor emphasized that, while the Lakers' front office remains in control of James' future, the potential ripple effects of a mid-season trade could be enormous. A move to New York wouldn't just alter the Knicks' trajectory. It could shake the entire league, reignite Madison Square Garden, and create a media frenzy unlike anything seen since James' previous high-profile moves. O'Connor even suggested that the reaction to a LeBron trade could surpass the fanfare and shock surrounding the Doncic deal, given the global attention James commands. Beyond the basketball and financial angles, the Knicks offer LeBron a unique opportunity on a personal and historical level. MSG is widely regarded as one of the most iconic arenas in professional sports. Playing there isn't just a professional milestone, it's a chance to cement his status as one of the greatest to ever play the game, particularly if he could guide the Knicks to a championship that has eluded the franchise for decades. For LeBron, the combination of career impact, personal affinity, and team potential makes New York a logical and compelling destination. For now, James' future remains unresolved. He has not signaled any intention to retire, leaving fans, analysts, and casual observers alike speculating on where he might play next. One certainty, however, is that LeBron will return to Madison Square Garden at least once more this season. The Lakers are scheduled to visit the Knicks on February 1st, a matchup that NBC has already selected as the marquee opening game for its new Sunday night basketball package. The anticipation surrounding that game is a reflection of the larger storyline. The possibility of LeBron James wearing a Knicks uniform is a narrative that captivates the entire basketball world. Whether it happens this season or remains a tantalizing "what if," the discussion itself highlights the continued fascination with LeBron James' career and the Knicks' potential as a destination.